These days, everybody wants to be in sales because they equate sales to luxury, especially real estate sales. So you want to get in sales. You want to sell houses. You want to be the next person on that Netflix show. It ain't like that. Not everybody should be in this game. I've seen a lot of people be successful in this game, but I also seen a lot of individuals who have come and gone. And because they took the risk and wanted to get their real estate license, they forwent what they're already good at. Their, corporate gig or wherever the case may be. Not everybody belongs in sales. And if you are somebody that falls into one of these 5 categories, you should definitely not get your sales license. So without further ado, let's get into it. The person number 1 is someone that loves the comfort zone. So if you're somebody that loves comfort, if you're somebody that doesn't like discomfort, man, you should not get in sales, because sales is definitely uncomfortable because you have to have difficult conversations. You have to become the person that you need to be in order to make those sales. I often say your real estate sales license is your key to personal development. What are you doing in your life when nobody is watching you, when nobody is holding you accountable? Because a whole life we got attendance taken at school. Are you present or are you not present? And when you get into the workforce, somebody is watching you, right? Did you show up? Did you punch in? You got to punch out. You get X amount of time for vacations. This is when your work time starts. This is when it ends. We have schedule. We are comfortable in knowing that our schedule is set for us. But you cannot be someone that loves the comfort zone when you don't know where your paycheck is coming from. When you're in sales, you are in a commissions game. You are in a commissions game. Do you realize how you get commission? Yes, you must get uncomfortable and talk to people. The more conversations you have, the more people you're going to meet. If you are somebody that does not like to go and talk to people, does not like making strangers into friends, it's not going to work. If you're very introverted, it's not going to work. Okay, save your time, the space. Look, if you fall into this category and you really want to be in sales, that's cool. Now you know something that you got to work on. So as I go through these points, this is how you are right now in this stage of your life. You can get into personal development and change anything that you desire. But that change also requires discomfort. So if you're somebody that doesn't like discomfort, gets anxious when you know things aren't going your way, let me tell you something about sales. You're talking to people. Most people are going to say no. You got to continue talking to people so most people can say no. Every once in a while, people say yes. You got to have systems where you're nurturing the maybes to turn them into yes. You got to invest in your business without making money. You're not promised to make money, yet you got to dish out money. Right? And then ultimately you might make a commission check that is not coming to you every 2 weeks. You might be getting a commission check every 2 months or 3 months. In the beginning, you might have to go 6 months to a year without any commission check because you're just learning the game. Or let's say you're in the game for 3 months, you close a deal, that deal's not closing for 3 months. Say you get in the business in January, you make your first sale in May. January, February, March, April, 4 months to make a deal. Because you're learning the game. You finally make a deal in May, but the house is not closing until July. Now you got to wait another 2 months. You're not making a check for the first 6-7 months, so you better have a bankroll. Or you better be living with your parents. So look, point number 1, if you are a comfort zone clinger, do not get in sales, man. Save yourself the headache. If you have the 9 to 5, if you're somebody that loves structure and you need a 9 to 5 mindset, you want to punch in, you want to punch out, you want your weekends to be all about you, you want to work out in the morning or you want to work out after work, and you just want a schedule. Let's say you're raising a family. You want you and your husband or you and your wife to go to work at a certain time together. You come home together. You plan your weekends. You plan your 2-3 weeks vacations every single year. It's all in a calendar. Don't get into sales. Sales is dynamic. You might be showing houses during dinner time. You might not have a weekend because most of your clients are looking to buy houses on weekends and evenings because that's their off time. So if you don't like your schedule or your significant other doesn't like their schedule, it's not going to work. There's no off button when you come to sales. Now, as you grow your business, you can time block your life and say, no, I'm not taking any calls right now, or I'm not doing business on these days. Actually, over time, you get a lot of benefit because you can have a lot of time to yourself. You could take 4 weeks off in a row. You could take the whole summer off and say, I'm not selling anything, if you build a business that is working without you. And that can be done. But it's not going to be done year 1. It's not going to be done year 2. And guess what? It's probably not going to be done in your first 5 years in real estate. You are grinding. So if you're looking to get in this game because you're a people person, how many times I heard that in my life? I want to get into real estate sales because I'm really good with people. No, you're not. You're good with people when you're lined up in a grocery store and you're having an amazing conversation with your cashier. Are you good with people when you're asking for business, though? When somebody can say no to you, you're not just sitting there and talking to the cashier, wasting everybody else's time that's on the lineup because you're talking about your sports team and you're talking about the weather and you think you're all charismatic and maybe you are, man. Maybe you are charismatic. I'm not taking anything away from you, man. But we got to have some jokes, you know what I'm saying? But the point is, just because you're having a free-flowing conversation and you're good with people, so you want to get into the sales game, man, that's not the way it works. Why I'm dying here, man, why I'm laughing is because how many times I've heard, Rick, I'm really good with people. You think I should get in sales? Well, what do you mean you're good with people? Because you got to get good with rejection. Okay, anybody could be good with people at a friggin' backyard barbecue where wine is flowing and you're like the social butterfly talking about like your Pilates class. Anybody can do that. Got the wine flowing, you're talking about Pilates or you're talking about your kids' basketball that nobody cares about. You know what I mean? Yeah, that's good with people. That's good. You're social. That's not sales. Sales is being uncomfortable, getting out of the 9 to 5 mindset, and asking for business. Are you good with that? About to find out when you get in sales. The third type of person that should never get their sales license is the people pleaser. If you are somebody that is going to agree every single time with people, this is not going to work. You have to understand that you are in the convincing business. You are in the business of persuasion. Now, not in a negative context. I'm not talking about manipulation, but most people don't want to do the things that are good for them. I have a friend. He's over 300 pounds. We talk. He wants to lose weight. Stop eating Twinkies, man. And stop eating late night nachos. And go and move your body in the morning. Don't want to do it. Doesn't want to do it. Okay? And when we have these conversations, he agrees. because he's a people pleaser. He asks me for advice. I give him the advice. He's a people pleaser. But does he do it? No. So if you're in the business of people pleasing and just saying things and not going for yours, this business is not for you. I'm sorry. It's not. You can't be an order taker just taking orders in the sales game. You got to be quick. You got to be able to handle objections. You got to be, someone might say you, hey, I want to do this. And you're like, I understand why you think you want to do this, but let me give you another option. You got to be a politician, a lawyer. You got to be good with your words. You got to know your game. You got to know your stuff. Imagine a people person pleaser going into a listing appointment and every seller is going to say, I want you to do this for free, or I want you to do it for a low commission. People pleaser are going to be like, oh, okay. First of all, that people pleaser is not going to even get the appointment. But if they do, they're going to go to the appointment and they'll say, okay, I'll do it for free as long as you buy a house through me. What are you doing to the industry? Don't get in. You got to show your value. Hey, Mr. and Mrs. Seller, I understand why you think the commission is too high, but maybe I didn't articulate myself correctly. Let me go ahead and explain to you exactly what I'm going to do and why we need to do all those things. Because Mr. and Mrs. Seller, it's not about how much commission you spend. It's about how much money you net. And if we do all of these things, you have a better chance of netting more even with my commission. Let me explain. You know what I'm saying? You got to fight for what is yours, okay? Now, the fourth type of person that should never get into the sales game is the excuse maker. Blaming the market, blaming the leads, blaming everything except for you, blaming your brokerage. What are you doing, man? Look in the mirror. When's the last time you picked up the phone and prospect? Well, I think if I change from Remax to Century 21, my business is going to excel. I really like that broker. You're lying to yourself. It's not going to change. Nothing changes until you change it. Nothing works until you work it. That's how it goes. So if you're someone that's just going to sit there and make excuses, blame the world, it's always somebody else's fault, and you're not taking 100% accountability, you're not going to go far in sales. You're probably not going to go far in life. Might be a tough pill to swallow. Too bad. Because one thing that irritates me, one thing that is my biggest pet peeve is excuses. Look, man, I've learned to take it on the chin. There's been a few times where I won, but there's been way more times where I lost. And what got me those wins was be able to take that criticism, that feedback, that self-actualization of what I did wrong and fix it. Take the blows on the chin, keep walking, and perfect your game. Period. Period. Stop making excuses in your life and then taking the substances to numb your excuses, man. It's not going to work. Why am I getting so passionate? Because I have loved ones, I have people that I love and care about in this industry that I pour into. Here's a framework. Here's the accountability. This is exactly what I did. This is exactly how you should do it pertaining to your personality, and I will do it with you. You know what happens? Ghost. It's the saddest thing to witness when somebody doesn't have the courage to simply help themselves. I'll do it with you, but you got to meet me at the 50-yard line. I can't do it for you. How many times did I see people with potential that just don't do the work? Because they make excuses. Their ego takes over. They don't want to blame themselves. It's always somebody else's fault. It's always your wife's fault or your husband's fault or my brother's fault or my boss's fault. My broker's fault or the lead generation company's fault or the person that gave me the script the fault. It's my coach's fault. Nah. Do a diagnosis of your life. See where the weak points are. And there's going to be one common denominator. That's you. There is no room for excuses in the commission game. Because if you are not being the best version of yourself, you are not going to make the commissions that are going to make you last. Sales is a beautiful thing because it's going to expose you. You don't have enough money in your bank account? Look in the mirror. It's going to expose you. See, when you're in a nice little 9-to-5 gig, you can hide. You can hide in that big corporate umbrella with all those big divisions, and maybe your work is not up to par, or maybe you're skipping work a few more days than you should, and you just get hidden. When you're in the sales game, you're exposed. It all comes down on your shoulders. It all comes down to your shoulders. So if you're somebody that's making excuses, this game's not for you. Okay, let's get into the fifth type of person. And this is the last type of person I'm going to talk about in this video anyway, that should not join sales, is that person that craves instant gratification. If you're somebody that wants instant gratification, like you need that, I eat a donut, I feel good. I take a puff, oh, I feel great. I take a swig. Oh, yeah, I feel great. If you need instant gratification, this ain't for you, man. You know who would be great salespeople? Athletes. People that are in athletics. People that understand sports. They would make great salespeople. And a lot of good salespeople are really good athletes or have played some type of sport before. Doesn't even have to be a sport. It could be singing. It could be dancing. Let me explain. The art of sport is amazing because you learn all of these things. And you definitely learn that getting good at something takes work and you're not going to get instant gratification. Right? Just recently, the last sport I picked up was golf. If you think you're going to get good at golf after the first try, go, oh God, you can't even hit the ball. It's humbling. I'm a guy that I played basketball. I have my amateur boxing license. I've done a lot of things. Every sport I played, whether it's contact, non-contact, fighting, you name it. I wasn't great at all of them. But I played it and I got better than I was and I understand the formula. So, but the latest love is golf. Okay, let's break it down. Get on the golf course, you suck. So you go and practice. You practice a little bit, get a little better, but you still suck. Right? But at least after a year or so and you're practicing and you're playing, at least you're not duffing the ball anymore. You're probably hitting it. It's not going where you wanted to go. That's a whole different story. Right? You're probably still sculling it over the green when you're chipping. That's a whole different story. But you're getting better. See, repetition is the mother of all skill. And that's what athletes understand. They understand the formula. If I take something and I practice it the right way long enough, I'm eventually going to see improvement. That's what the sales game is. First of all, you're not getting paid every 2 weeks. Your commission checks are spread out. right? Like I explained in this video, in the beginning of this video. You close a deal today, you ain't getting paid till the closing date. And it's going to take you months to even close that deal. So over time, as your business builds, you're going to have a flow of commissions that are coming in constantly because you're constantly closing deals. But not until you get there. Most people quit before they get there because they don't understand the art of repetition. They don't understand delayed gratification. They don't understand that what they do today for a long enough period of time, if they keep doing it the right way, one day they're going to get results. And those results are going to lead to a lot of commission checks. And when those commission checks are coming in, you can have a better quality of life. Moreover, you have more money to invest, which leads to more money. But the problem is we don't understand delayed gratification. We want instant gratification. So no bueno. It's not going to work for you. Here's the thing about sales. It's not just being a people person. You have to learn, you have wearing every hat of a business. You're the salesperson, which means outbound calls. You're the marketer when you're farming or whatever you're doing. You're the keynote speaker when you're presenting. You're the customer service rep because you got to have client care. You're an event planner because you're probably doing client events. You're the trainer. You're the recruiter when you're running a team. You're doing it all. You're the accountant. You're keeping the books. You're keeping the records. You're doing it all because until you have money to invest and delegate to that, you can only invest and delegate to that when you do the hard part, which is get an overflow of business. In the beginning, it's a grind. But when it starts coasting, you're Gucci. You're living your best life. So if you fall into these categories, that doesn't mean you can't get out of these categories. And sometimes you might be better in the real estate world, but maybe as an admin or an operations manager or whatever the case may be. There's a place in here for you. Or if you want to get into the actual salesmanship and you have these characteristics that I described that are not, congruent with being a good salesperson, that doesn't mean you can't learn to be. But it comes down to how much effort you want to put in. And here's the cool part that goes beyond money. When you do this, when you do put in the work, yeah, you make more money. But the individual you become, the person you become when you go through the sales gauntlet, money can't buy. Because you change your habits, which ultimately change your character. You understand what it takes to be successful instead of somebody dictating to you in a corporate gig or whatever. Man, that feels good. Let's end it there. If you enjoyed this video, man, let me know. Holla at your boy. Give me a like. Give me a comment. Don't be shy. I'm doing this for you. We'll see you on the next video, y'all.